Hey my dear friends, Sam Haymart with Test Driven TV. Recently I had the chance to test drive the 2022 Subaru Outback Wilderness, the outdoorsy off-roady model of the Outback that's, well, more off-roady and outdoorsy than the regular one. And this, unfortunately, is the first press car that I've ever had a bad accident in. So my driving impressions and my thought about how it survived the crash, coming right up. Having done a first look review on the new off-roadier 2022 Subaru Outback Wilderness just last spring, I was excited to actually spend some time in one and see how well it works with its more robust suspension and upgraded interior fixtures, just to name a few of its improvements. Upon arrival, its lifted suspension of nearly an inch was most noticeable, giving it a more SUV-like stance than the garden variety Outbacks. With the lift, Subaru tells of a class-leading 9.5-inch ground clearance. The 17-inch matte black wheels and white-letter Geolandar off-road tires really seal the deal, though, visually. Other items of the more rugged theme include a revised front fascia with a bolder grille and sharp LED hex fog lights. The hood sports a matte black applique and underneath a healthy front skid plate to beef up its off-road bona fides. The Wilderness also has brawnier-looking wheel arch trims and lots of gold copper accents all around. On the roof is a more substantial fixed ladder-type roof rack system that can hold up to 700 pounds. That means a really nice tent. And you'll also find anodized copper finished tow hook anchor point covers and other little accents all around. Inside is where I was most pleased with a redesigned dash center stack that's now more contemporary with a tablet-style human interface touchscreen that replaces the dated layout from the 1990s. The 11.6-inch portrait-style infotainment system integrates controls for multimedia, HVAC, X mode, and many other vehicle settings. With its extra size, you can summon multiple camera views, including a front view. I liked all the interior upgrades of the Wilderness Edition, including lots of logos and anodized copper finish accents. These are spread around generously to places like the steering wheel, the shifter, and the instrument cluster. Copper-colored accent stitching is also seen throughout. Seat upholstery is what Subaru calls StarTex, a water-repellent material that reminds me of a sporting goods store. Under your feet are rubber floor liners and one for the cargo floor too. Driving the Outback Wilderness, you are keenly aware of its longer shocks and springs front and rear that give it nearly 1-inch additional ground clearance and suspension travel. You can feel the difference in the steering and roll taking corners and on the highway. It feels more substantial, though with a higher center of gravity to be sure. For off-roading, it has a lower final drive ratio of 44.4:1 and a recalibrated Lineartronic CVT. That's a continuously variable transmission. All of this helps to improve low-speed climbing abilities. An expanded array of X-Mode software programs is along for the ride as well to manage its active torque vectoring and vehicle dynamics control. Power from its 2.4-liter turbocharged boxer engine was adequate at 260 horsepower and 277 pound-feet of torque. The long-proven CVT features an 8-speed manual mode function with steering wheel paddle shifters that can give you software-induced simulated shifts in case you miss the old days and need an extra bump or two. Otherwise, this is a shiftless experience. It has an EPA fuel economy rating of 22 city and 26 mpg highway. In our time with it, we did not get to measure fuel economy because our week was cut short by a red light runner at an intersection in our hometown. We were hit pretty severely in the rear passenger side wheel, which spun us around to a stop straight into a traffic light pole. While the dynamics of the accident were not severe enough to trigger the airbags, the restraints and structure performed well to keep us safe and just a little sore in walking away. Good job, Subaru. Unfortunately, the Outback is likely a total loss due to its underlying chassis powertrain and structural damage. Oh, by the way, price as tested is $39,965. Well, there you go, my friends. My test drive review for the 2022 Subaru Outback Wilderness. I was impressed with the car, but I was also impressed about the fact that we were in a moderately severe accident and managed to come out unscathed. Now, obviously, if we had been hit just slightly in a different spot, things might have been quite different, but I'm very happy and very grateful, obviously, that myself and my partner who was riding in the car, neither one of us were hurt. So there you go. Now, if you like more videos on test drives without crash information, without crashes, you can see that right there, our latest video, or even better yet, subscribe to our YouTube channel right down there. Either way, stay tuned.